Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink Wednesday Wellness Series. Kathleen Gramzay is back, and we're continuing the sessions on self-empowered health. Today, we'll be talking more about smart ways to take down a gang of bad habits. So, Kathleen, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Have you ever noticed that habits are in cahoots?
Good and bad ones, for sure.
Right. Like they tend to group together, and it could be, like you said, like kind, whether positive or negative. So for example, this morning I went to Pilates, which I always feel great about. And I came home, and so I was having my tea, and I'm trying to cut out sugar in easy ways. So because I went and felt great about doing Pilates, I was like, I'm going to actually have almond milk today. I'm going to skip my caramel creamer. So very simple little thing. Now, to the other side, as we say, to the good or bad, I don't know about you or anybody else watching this, but there's this habit of getting sucked into a series when you're watching. And the next thing you know, it's 8 o'clock and I'm thinking about a snack I absolutely do not need to have. And then the next thing, it's one more episode. And the next thing I'm like, oh my God, holy crow, what time is it? And then I get less sleep. And then I'm not so inclined to get up the next morning and work out and meditate and work out and start with a sharp mind. So in terms of our brains, the thoughts that wire together, fire together. So it's the same thing with our habits, which is why those habits are in cahoots. And it makes sense then if we want to change that, we need to find a better way to turn those cahoots into our favor. So that is to go after the gang leader. So when you think about habits, think about who's the linchpin. What's the one that as soon as you do that one, all the other ones follow? So for me, with that ringleader, the binge watching, I know exactly who it is. It's that little thing on your screen that says starting next episode. And so I finally got smart and I thought, okay, what can I do for this? So what I do is I take my timer, I look and see what time it is if it's during the week, right? And I want to get to bed at my preferred wind down time and set myself up for success. So I set my timer on my phone for that time and I watch until that timer goes off. When it goes off though, now I got to get myself off the couch, right? When I want to be, it's like, oh my God, it's so good, I want to still watch. I literally do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 count and up. And then once I'm standing up, I turn off the remote and then I turn off my timer. And now I can go into my wind down mode. I still have myself on my program. I feel good about that. I got in a little chill time and I'm setting myself up for success the next day.
Man, I struggle with the exact same thing. So I like your idea of the timer. I tend to just focus on, okay, I'm only going to watch the end of this one episode. After that one, I'm done. Don't let it hit replay on the next one. So I'm glad you bring this one up because I'm sure a lot of people have been watching Netflix and streaming shows. So if you're one of those individuals, I think certainly this would be a winning strategy. So Kathleen, as we look to wrap up today's conversation, what would your challenge of the week be?
Mine is figure out what's your most detrimental linchpin habit. Who's your gang leader that causes you the most grief and the biggest cascade of things that you feel bad about later? And identify the gang leader, decide a new trigger to take it out on your terms and see what difference it makes in your life.
All right. Sounds like a great challenge of the week. Well, Kathleen, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink Wednesday Wellness Edition.
My pleasure.